This is what a narcissist thinks every single day after you disappear. Narcissists don't shatter the moment you walk away. It's not like in the movies where they collapse in a dark corner, head in their hands, finally overwhelmed by guilt for all the harm they caused. They don't have that sudden lightning bolt moment of truth where their heart softens. They see everything clearly, and they are ready to make amends. That kind of awakening belongs to people who have empathy. Narcissists, on the other hand, immediately get to work, rebuilding the story of what happened in a way that makes them the hero and you the villain. They don't just bend the truth. They rip it apart, strip away every uncomfortable piece, and stitch together a version they can live with. In their rewritten script, you didn't survive their cruelty. You abandoned them. You gave up on a relationship they insist they fought for. You were impossible to please. And no matter what they did, you always wanted more. They tell this story so many times, to themselves and to anyone who will listen, that it eventually becomes their reality. And make no mistake, this narrative isn't designed to convince you. It's to protect them. Because accepting the truth, that their own actions drove you away, would mean facing the one thing they cannot bear: accountability. In their new version of events, the manipulation disappears. The gaslighting never happened. The months or years of emotional starvation, erased without a trace. And once they've sanitized the past, another toxin seeps in: paranoia. If you left, there had to be someone else. You must have been cheating. You must have been planning your escape for months. Because in their world, no one ever leaves unless they've found something better. They cannot imagine loyalty because they've never practiced it. They cannot believe in honesty because their own words are always calculated for effect, never rooted in truth. When their downfall does come, it doesn't explode all at once. It creeps in. It starts as arrogance, mutates into restlessness, and slowly sinks into a quiet, gnawing ache. You might think your absence barely registers with them, but in reality, it hits them in a way you wouldn't expect. At first, they convince themselves they've won. They cast you as the problem, label your departure as proof of their superiority, and declare their life is finally at peace without you. But that's the thing. Relief is not peace. Relief is fleeting. And as the days pass, the stillness they once celebrated begins to scratch at their nerves. Your silence doesn't reinforce their control, it threatens it. And that's what I'm going to prove to you today. I'm going to take you directly inside the mind of a narcissist so you can see, day by day, what truly unfolds when you disappear from their life. We'll walk together through day 1, day 15, and day 4 to 5, so you can witness the slow, unnerving unraveling for what it really is. But before we dive into the timeline, a quick note. This month, I'm running a powerful training on mastering co-parenting with a narcissist. If you're in the trenches, if you need strategies to protect your children and corner the narcissist without getting trapped in their games, now is the time to book your spot. The link is in the description of this episode. Day 1. When you vanish, their first reaction isn't despair, it's relief. From the very beginning, they had already been retreating from you, not in one obvious blow, but in slow, calculated steps. Every icy glance, every sarcastic remark, every stretch of silence was a carefully placed brick in the wall they were building between you. It wasn't clumsy or accidental. It was quiet sabotage. And deep down, they were waiting for you to be the one to finally walk away. Why? Because if you left, they could slip into their favorite role, the innocent victim. Now that you're gone, they exhale like someone who's been holding their breath for years. They see this as victory, freedom. In their minds, there is no guilt, no second-guessing, no night spent tossing and turning over how they hurt you. Instead, they begin crafting the perfect story where they are stainless and pure. You didn't survive them, you abandoned them. You left them in their darkest hour. That's the script they play on repeat. And while they erase every cruel word, every manipulative tactic, and every time they treated you like you were disposable, their mind gets busy writing new lies. Suddenly, you didn't leave to save yourself. You must have left for someone else. You must be cheating. There's no evidence, but that doesn't matter. Their mind works like a projector, flashing their own sins onto everyone else. Disloyalty, impulsivity, betrayal, They assume you're guilty because it's exactly what they would do. So, when your silence continues, they don't hear grief. They don't recognize it as you protecting your peace. No, they label it as treachery. That label becomes their armor, shielding them from any need for self-reflection. They won't feel remorse, only the satisfaction of twisting reality so that you are the villain and they are the wounded soul. And then comes day 15. This is not how they pictured it. They never imagined you'd last this long. In their mind, you were too emotionally dependent to breathe without them. They thought you'd shatter within a week, come crawling back with tears, begging for scraps of the chaos you once called love. They saw themselves as your lifeline, the source of your worth, your identity, your stability. They were convinced you couldn't exist without their validation. They believed your nervous system had been rewired permanently to their abuse, that their voice would haunt your thoughts, that even freedom would taste like poison in your mouth. They thought your peace would suffocate you. But here you are, 2 weeks and a day in, still silent. No texts, no confessions, no emotional collapse. And to them, that silence is not quiet at all. It's thunder. It's a scream that tells them, without words, that their grip is gone. Panic creeps in, not the kind they'll ever admit to, but the kind that keeps them awake at night. They start circling you in the shadows, watching your socials under fake accounts, planting questions through mutual friends, scanning for any sign they still matter. Because the greatest fear for someone like them is not losing you. It's becoming irrelevant in your world. And with each passing day, your silence is proving exactly that. And that is the point where their inner decay begins, because solitude is their greatest predator. They cannot survive in their own company for long. You were their anchor, their definition, the mirror in which they saw themselves. And without you, they are forced to confront a reflection they can't bear to look at. By day 4 to 5, the slow rot has already taken hold. This is when the ache becomes unbearable, though they will never speak of it. They had convinced themselves that replacing you would be effortless, that they could slip into a shiny new relationship, feel the same intoxicating rush of power, and prove to themselves you were never irreplaceable. They believed another willing source of adoration was always waiting just around the corner. But reality is merciless. No matter how fast they move on, the high never comes back. It always falls short because, in truth, they were never searching for love. They were searching for you, hidden in someone else's skin. They scrutinized the new person, urging them, silently, desperately, to become you. They want your reactions, your energy, your ability to make them feel like they were worth saving. But the alchemy fails. It cannot be recreated. Desperation mutates into contempt. They begin resenting the new supply for failing to be you, for not speaking in your tone, not believing in them with your conviction, not giving them the look in the eyes that made them feel almost human. That realization slices deep, wounding a part of them they will never allow to see the light. So they bury it under arrogance, drown it in distraction, and repeat to themselves that you were never that special. Yet deep inside, they know exactly how rare you were. The next source of supply may be perfectly fine, but the narcissist is far too impatient now to nurture the same kind of bond. They crave instant validation and idealization without lifting a finger to earn it. Wounded and exposed, they lash out, revealing their true self sooner than ever. This is why the new partner faces rapid devaluation and a swift, cold discard. And so, the cycle starts again, leaping from one partner to another, comparing, always searching, never satisfied. Every new face is dismissed as dull, ungrateful, inadequate. But the truth? The problem isn't the partners. The problem is the vast emptiness within, a void no one will ever fill again. You become the unreachable standard, the connection they never earned, the loss they will never recover from. They will never admit they miss you, because to admit that would mean confessing they were the problem. So instead, they keep running, straight into more hollow encounters, haunted by your absence and punished daily by the silence they once celebrated. And here's the secret they will never reveal to you or anyone else. It's not that they loved you and lost you. It's that they controlled you and lost control. For them, That is a wound far deeper than heartbreak, and one they can never forgive. This is where the bitterness takes root. Paranoia blooms. Their mind turns chaotic, believing everyone is out to sabotage them. Because the shield, the anchor, the protector, you, is gone. And now, stripped bare, they are fully exposed to the unfiltered reality they've been hiding from all along. So tell me, what have you seen in your own experiences? How has the silence revealed their true nature? We'll talk again soon. Have a nice day, everyone.